Probably bored, knocked it down. Did it on purpose.
We check the batteries on it real quick. We're all?
Yep.
Alright. We're gonna start things off with our NBO small lead reporter, Andrew Bowlby.
Well, thanks guys for coming today. Nice to see all of you. Coach, I'll just start with you. Obviously, as a program that's made the playoffs in 3 straight years and has had pretty consistent success over those 3 years, what is it going to take to make that 4 straight years?
It's going to take some guys stepping up that haven't had to before. The last couple years, we've replaced graduating seniors with more graduating seniors. This year, pretty small senior class. We have 7 of these guys, and 0 seniors up front on the offense or defensive line. And so we're at a spot. We've been talking about this a lot for the last few weeks about like who our on the field leaders are going to be. Like when things get tough, who's going to step up and bring everybody together and elevate their performance. And so that's what we're looking for. It's going to take multiple guys. Hopefully some of these 3 guys up here are big parts of that, and see what it gets us.
Yeah, and Braxton, I'll go to you. Obviously, you're transitioning into a new role, going into the quarterback position. Just what has the offseason been like for you, kind of learning a new role?
Well, my freshman and sophomore year, I was both a quarterback, and I played JV. Stepping into the starting varsity quarterback has been an adjustment, but I mean, all my receivers and O-line have helped me succeed through the offseason.
And Coach, can you just speak a little bit on what you've seen from him growing into this role and taking over for a player who had success last year?
Yeah, Braxton being my son is makes this a little bit different, but also a spot where he's been around the locker room for his entire life. He's been coming to practice since he was 2-3 years old, and so he's a football guy. So even though it is a new spot, it's one that I think he's familiar with how we do things and what we expect. The difference is going to be, and he and I have had these conversations about how, like in the last couple of years, he's made some big plays for us from his receiver spot, whether it be like from receiving a pass or a couple reverses that he busted last year, but where he only was expected to touch the ball maybe 3 to 5 times a game. This year, that's obviously going to be much different, where he's going to handle the ball every single snap, but then also carrying the ball from the quarterback position and having to take that contact 12 to 15 to 20 times a game. So, I'm really excited. He's worked hard for 4 years in the weight room to build his body up as much as he can, being a little guy. But I'm excited to get out to watch him get out there and watch him enjoy this last season with his teammates.
Yeah, and then for any of you 3, obviously you guys, I'm sure, are well aware how close you were to winning the NBL title last year. Just how do you use that to motivate you for this season, just knowing that maybe against that game against Duluth, you guys were maybe just a couple plays away from it being the opposite result?
I think this year we just need to work on being more like in the game the entire time, not take plays off, be more in shape, and just be tougher as a team all together. Because last year there was just a few plays that changed the outcome of the game, and this year we can't let that happen for every game we play.
I just want to talk about, last year when you guys came here, I feel like a lot of the questions were about last year's group and Rashid and whatever. And, while that group was so special, you guys came out last year and shocked a lot of people in the area with, the wins that you guys started out with and, almost being a great team. Just tell me, is that sort of like the same feeling this year? Or what is your confidence levels like going into this season?
I'll start, then you guys can follow up. But I think that it's probably amplified this year because coming into last year we still had a senior class of, I think we had 16 seniors last year, so 7 is much different. But also the way we kind of look at it is, as far as confidence and things like that go, like the standard is the standard. Obviously those guys in years past, starting with Harley Hopkins and then moving on to Ty Schauger, the Rashid's class and that whole group of our first 4-year group, from taking over the program, and then last year, that big group of guys. And so it's never really about replacing those guys. It's about the next dude. Like those guys have done their work, they put their time, and they've left their legacy. and now it's time for these guys and a new crop of guys to step in and do that. And the goal of creating a program is one that does that. That you have you focus on those, building those characteristics, those standards at the younger levels, and they just kind of amplify on the way up. And that's a big test for us in our program this year, but I'm excited about it, and really can't wait to see these guys get after it on Thursday. You guys want to add to that at all? What confidence levels like or anything?
Tap in.
I can, yeah. I'm feeling very confident in terms of like last year we did a lot, and it like you said, it kind of feels pretty similar. Like knowing that this is me and Brax's last year, I want to make the most of it, and like all like the little as close as we were to winning the MVL, me personally, I took that very personal. I'm taking it personal this year. I want it bad, so I'm sure these guys too as well. So.
Yeah, and then Coach, you just talk about like, I feel like the past couple of years that I've been, involved with this program, seeing a couple games, going to a couple practices, it just seems like culture is the main thing that I pull out of, all the times that I've visited your team. Just tell me, what is your definition of culture on a football team?
Our program is built on, now we have an acronym and hanging in the locker, STORM, that stands for a certain thing. But in reality, the pillars of the program are three things, and I think any successful program, really at any level, has some similar pillars, and ours are effort, attitude, and toughness. In everything that we do, effort as far as like the weight room, the classroom, the practice field. Our culture is we try to have our culture be as an unselfish culture where we push these dudes to work extremely hard and get to the point where even if they're not best friends with the dude sitting next to them in the locker room, it builds this mutual respect and kind of understanding that I'm gonna do everything I can right now for this guy because I saw what he did, beside me in the summertime or on the practice field or whatever. And so that's kind of been, when we first got to West, the idea was to try to create something that, we were in the hallways that first year recruiting every kid that we could, recruiting hallways. Like, we started that year, and that was COVID year, but with like 25 kids on the roster. And so like myself and a couple of coaches would stand in the hallway and basically offer helmets to kids, as they moved around. But the goal was to create something that kind of recruited itself. And so like myself and the coaches aren't necessarily out having to ask kids to do stuff anymore because they talk to their peers, their classmates, and those kids have then come out and seen some things, and they're like, hey, this is pretty cool. I want to get involved in this. And so that's the idea too, is just getting something that it's not something that we as coaches are constantly having to preach because the kids are living it and the kids are communicating it. And so that's been the idea.
And then just bringing up something that you brought up earlier was that you've been around the game of football your entire life, and then coming into that quarterback role. What are you bringing that is unique just from being always around it and being your dad as a coach? What are you bringing to the game that's different than what you've seen throughout your entire life?
Well, I mean, obviously, I get to have conversations at home with him that really nobody else does about, like, he'll tell me, this is what I want you to try to do. Can you do this? Do you think that some of your teammates can do this? And I give an honest opinion to him, and he will, like, he tries to mentor me in a way that he mentors everybody else. So it's not like I'm getting special treatment that nobody else is receiving. But I feel like him being able to talk to me about that stuff kind of gives me an understanding of where we're at as a team and what all we need to accomplish.